I've spent $25,947 on Whiteout Survival in 140 days. As you can hear, I'm losing my voice a little bit because I'm still recovering from this cold. It's starting to clear, but that's another story. We're in State of Power last phase. As you all know, if you've been following me or if you play the game, the power boost phase lasts the longest. It doesn't just end at reset like most events. So we're still technically in that phase now. I don't have a lot to show you on the account that you didn't see last night, but there is something I did off camera, and I'm going to explain that. It has to do with pets. But before I get into that, let's just give a quick scan here. I don't have anything special to show in the events. So let's take a look at the daily deals first. And I did actually spend $50 on pets. I needed some more of the pet food is what I needed. So I grabbed that because I needed to do a little pressing yesterday. I needed to do it, but then I forgot that it doesn't end at reset. So I thought I had to do it to get my points at reset or before reset. And then I forgot that the last phase, because this is only my third or fourth SvS. And I completely forgot that you didn't have to worry about in this last phase. I totally could have done it on camera, but I didn't. And also the pets are kind of a grindy kind of thing. And it takes a lot of editing for me to do what I did with yesterday's video with the fast forward and all that. I didn't want to go through all that. So let's get into the rest of this though. There's something else I wanted to say, if you've been following me because of the efficiency, it's something I've been self-critical of, and somebody else pointed this out to me yesterday. I need to get back to efficiency. And my definition of efficiency now needs to be super clear. It's power per dollar. No more of this VIP stuff. So please, if I do it, call me out on it, because sometimes I slip back on it and I forget that, yes, to a degree you want to be efficient. If to get Frostsphere at all $5 versus all $100, it would cost you half, but it would take you twice or three times or four times as long because you're only spending at $5. Really, what I should be doing is focusing on power per dollar, and Frostsphere will come when it comes, just organically, and that's it. I need to stop worrying about VIP efficiency and start worrying about power per dollar, and that's what I'm going to get back to tonight, and I'm going to try to keep myself honest about that. Of course, there might be some times as a content creator or something, I just do something because it's fun or I need some content, fine. But for the most part, I want to get back to power per dollar. Relating to that, if we take a look at the Fire Crystal Value Pack, the thing is, I'm only grabbing this up a couple levels because just for a little bit of spend, and I'm not going to keep going on it because soon, as I understand it, once we get to FC5, the packs are going to get better. And I've already been doing a lot of stashing of fire crystals, so I'm only kind of getting what I need for now. I'm not going to go crazy with this one or the other crystal event that's going on. I'm just going to, I have what I have for now. It's pretty good, and I do want to keep on spending on fire crystals, but why spend on this, at the higher levels when the packs are going to start getting better really soon? Doesn't make sense. Chief Stamina, we have the mercenary thing going on, and I basically always buy this when I have the opportunity because it only goes up to, 10 or, I think it was only $10 mark, and it's kind of worth it to just grab it, and you do get VIP points with it. The daily deals, I think I'm always going to grab this because it's just a good way to grab those general mythic shards, and it's easy way to get them and accumulate them, and also accumulate some VIP points while you're at it. And then the weekly card, we're at a position now where, I don't have a lot of spending to do today, so I'm just going to grab another one of these. Doesn't come with VIP points anyways, so I just grab another one of those, and that'll be good for that, because I do want to keep that one going. And then that's it. That's all for the regular spending there. Then we get into the deal section. Already did the Vault of Enigma. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing crystal reactivation anymore because the packs are going to start getting better for us soon. So I don't know. No sense in me grabbing this when it's basically the same value as we discovered yesterday. It's just a matter of, do you get a chance on the gamble, essentially is what it comes down to. And I don't need to be taking a chance on the gamble. I want to focus on efficient power per dollar. That's what I want to come back to. So we'll just grab these, clear these out. And we're already set on these. Yeah. So that's all I have to do on the deal section now. So let's take a minute to talk about two things. Let's talk about a little state politics. I don't know if you can see, but if you notice, I'm with the LAT Alliance now. And this is because it's their turn for Castle. And there was a little bit of confusion today because it was all last minute and we were trying to get everything straightened out. So what happened is I want to I've been talking to a lot of experienced players, and I want to get us back to a point as a state. Hopefully, I'm doing what I can, that as a state, we can kind of work as a unified team. And previous leadership was basically saying, our alliance that has me in it as right now the top whale in the state, because I've spent enough. I don't know if that'll always be the case. It depends if other people outspend me, right? So, but our alliance would always take presidency after the SvS castle battle. And a lot of other states said, yeah, this causes drama and confusion and problems. Well, not confusion, causes problems, basically. And I wanted to get us back into a rotation scheme. We also have a transfer coming up, I believe, and I believe that's going to line up for next internal castle. So I wanted to be able to have presidency during that castle so I can show what it looks like to have those interfaces on my channel, basically. And I just need it once so I can do that. And I'm going to make sure I do everything with the leadership of the state so that I don't want to ruin everything that we've been working on so far. So, I basically had to promise them up and down that I had no malintent, and this is their only reason I wanted to do this. And also, it solved a whole bunch of problems for our state versus state prep, or not our prep, but our battle plans. So it solved a whole bunch of problems that I won't get into now because we have the battle coming up, in basically 12 hours or so, whatever it is. So it solved a lot of problems for us and gives them the supreme presidency, presumably, if we are able to win, because it looks like we're well enough ahead in the prep phase. So I thought it's a win-win. Man, it just went sideways, but I'm glad we got it all back together by talking it out and explaining things. And I hope we're in a good place now, but here I am at the LAT Alliance, and I'm going to be helping. We've got we actually have 3 of our biggest whales are all in LAT right now. It's only me who's not. So we really got the dream team over here, and it's going to be a good fight tomorrow. So it'll be fun. But that's a little state politics, and I promise you that to some degree I was kind of going to discuss some of the state politics and some of those things because I'm just documenting what's going on with the account. Now, a lot of people have been asking about transfers. I do want to tell you, we've started talking about a little bit in leadership in the state already. We're going to do our best to try to accommodate people. We're going to hand out those invitations equally amongst our top 5 alliances, so they're all going to get an equal allocation there. And we're going to be careful about who we let into the state so we don't upset the balance of power too much. But if you're somebody who's like, a decent player, you see what we're trying to do with the state and some of the content that I have here, and you probably won't be able to join my alliance actually, but if you want to come to the state, we have some great alliances here. They're all have, different pros, and I won't say cons at all. They just have different aspects to them. Maybe the only pro and con would be the bear trap time. Like if your bear trap time doesn't line up with their time zone, but, or if maybe there's too much of a language barrier with some of them, that might be an issue for you. But, the game does a good job of translation and stuff. If you play the game, I'm sure that's something you're already used to. But if you're interested in looking for a transfer, just remember there's only so many. So you're probably better off trying to play your luck with the random 20 slots that can come in. And, that's going to be probably the best way to get in, because those few other slots that we're going to have, or all the alliances are going to have, are probably going to be pretty difficult to obtain. You're going to have to kind of show that you're the type of person who is going to be aligned with their goals and are, the type of game we're trying to play and all that stuff. But if you're interested in that, don't contact me yet because transfers aren't open yet. But as soon as transfers open, I'm going to start recruiting heavily probably. We'll probably have more people interested than we can accommodate, obviously. But because I've already had a bunch of people asking about transfers in already. So that'll be something for you to consider and think about as you're going forward. So that'll be something for you to think about when transfers open up eventually. But just remember, it's going to be kind of pretty difficult to get in here. Now, with that said, there's something else I wanted to clear up. I was talking to actually that same player last night and about pets. And I had a misconception that he helped clear up. And I want to show you. Basically, I brought all my pets to purple because the thing is, I had a misconception. There's think of it like this. The pets, while they have better stats, I had a misconception that the going from one level to the other actually was different for the different pets. And I think if I got this right, what I understand is the delta between the levels, the colors, is fairly similar, except for maybe except for the lowest level pets. So as you go up, it's like, it's like 2% for the first level, and then like 2 to 6% for the next. I mean, there's a range there. It's a range. It's going to go up as the pets go up, but essentially it's not as big as you think it is. So you're basically, if you try to look at, if your metric is stats per common wild mark, because it takes a lot of common wild marks to get these up. And if your metric is stats per common wild mark, again, except for the lowest level pets, it's, it's still worth it. Essentially, it's not a huge difference because the delta for all of them is similar. It's not the same, but it's similar. Yes, you get a little bit more for the higher level pets. When I was going through this, you get a little bit more, but it's not as much as you might think. And the bottom line is, as a whale spender, so as a free-to-play person, it may make sense for you to use that following I was telling you, just go by the color of the pet, because you're not going to have as many common wild marks as I have. But as a whale who's spending a lot of money in the game, and I have like 1.5 million gems right now, and those, most of those are going to go towards common wild marks essentially. It's a little different situation for me. So you're basically better off pressing the pets is what that comes down to. And, I'm not going to go too crazy with them right now because common wild marks really only get you to purple anyways. And I do want to save the advanced wild marks for the more advanced pets that I'm sure we'll be getting soon. But at least pressing them all to purple as a whale makes a lot of sense because you get a lot of stats from it. And I can even, if I wanted to press these a little bit more still, I can because I'm still well into the purple range. But you'll see what happens is as you get into the, let's go here. And as you get into the purple range, what'll happen is, look how many common wild marks I'm using and getting nothing because it's harder and harder and harder to get better stats using just common wild marks. So you'll get it every now and then. It'll pop every now and then, but look how many I'm burning through and getting nothing, right? So it's not the best. I'm just doing that for illustration purposes. It's not the best use of common wild marks other than maybe to put some points on the board. Oh, that was a nice one there. But you see, that's my point is that like, that's why they say like, go to purple and then you should be using advanced wild marks after that, from what I understand, if you want to try to get them to red. And some of these I could do, but like I just don't have that many advanced wild marks, so I don't know how far I want to press them. But if you look at the difference between an advanced wild mark, when you do that, you get good stats pretty much all the time. That time I didn't. But most of the time with an advanced wild mark, you're going to get good stats. So that's the difference there. But anyways, I just wanted to correct myself, and if you're watching my content and learning from me as I'm learning from others, I'm learning from others as we go. I've always said that. I'm documenting my journey, learning as I go, and I just wanted to show you that. My pet stats are actually looking pretty nice as a result of that. That's what they're looking like now. So that's quite a nice bump in the pet stats. Now, the only other thing, let's check the backpack quick and see if I have anything else I can do for gear. I don't want to spend too much tonight on gear and stuff, but maybe just to do one thing. So I do want to take a look at this gear. I'm just on the cusp of being able to get it. Ah, there we go. Got it to 82. So I must have picked up just enough gear to get it to 82. So that's a nice little bump there just in time. And that's all. That's all I really have to show. The rest of these, I kind of showed you maxing out the heroes, and I don't have much else to do on the heroes. Labyrinth I'm not going to do tonight because it hasn't changed, so there's nothing for me to show there. But another suggestion I got, which I think I'm going to try to start doing, I just have to remember to do it, is before I do any upgrades, like call a rally on, a Polar Terror just to be able to show the stats, and then do the upgrades and then show the stats after. I'm going to try to remember to do that a little more because it's kind of like a practical way just to show a quick snapshot of where things are. I don't have any of that ready right now, unfortunately, but I think it was a great suggestion, and I'm going to start thinking about doing that. I also get a lot of comments about going to the island, and let me tell you the problem with the island. Number one, it's not all that fantastic to see. It's just you're going to see the levels of the islands. You can also just visit me in the game. If you really want to see my island, just visit me in the game, go to Visit Island, and you'll be able to see my island. I don't need to show it to you. The other thing is there's music. The music track for the island is copyright by another company that the game licensed, and every time I post any content with the island, I've got to make sure I clear the copyright claim because I do have a license to that song independently through another subscription service that I use. So it took me a while to figure that out, but it's a little bit of an annoying pain to have to go into the island and deal with the music track there that I have to justify the copyright claim every time. So that's why I don't tend to show the island very often. So before I'm done, I just want to ask you your opinion on what makes a state healthy. I'm trying to lead towards, I don't want to lead this because I don't want people to think there's this perception because we're part of the, my alliance is number one. And there was a long history of people having, these internal fights originally and we're number one and we're taking all of the, the benefits and stuff like this or whatever. I don't know. I don't care what all the drama was and everything that happened before me. I'm learning more about the game now. I'm trying to step up and help the state. And that's my role right now is I want to step up and help the state. I don't care. I do care about my alliance, of course, but I really want to help the state. I want to help be a statewide team. And if there's any, there's things we're starting to do that I'm suggesting, and I don't want to ever be in a position where I'm telling people to do this. I'm trying to bring it to the state leadership. So I established a state versus state war room so that we can all talk about battle plans. And then I kind of stepped back and I'm letting the people, like everybody in the state who's cooperating there, cooperate together. I don't need to run it and control it. I'm not trying to direct anyone. I'm just trying to bring people together to have the discussions. Same thing with a co-op. We had trouble with something we called a NAP. So I just said, hey, can we at least agree to a co-op where we're just all cooperating together? That's it. Our goal, we're not doing a NAP and enforcing each other's punishments and all the stuff that always gets us in trouble in a NAP. So let's just call it a co-op where we're all operating independently, but in our best interest and in the best interest of the state, so that we can have a place where all the leaders can talk about stuff like this. And again, I'm not trying to dictate anything in there. I always want to bring it to the groups as a proposal, a discussion. Let's have agreement and alignment and that type of thing. I don't ever want to be in a position, if possible, where somebody feels like their opinion didn't matter, or they had a good idea and it wasn't able to express it, or that they felt like they were pressured or powered into doing something. Let's have a good discussion, understand the pros and cons, and let's get some agreement. That's it. Anyways, I'm rambling a little bit. I just want to know what other things we can be doing to have a healthy statewide team environment. I want us to be 3794, the state that everybody fights together in battle and doesn't fight internally. That's what I would really like to see, because that way we can all have fun in our own little ways inside the game without needing to worry about the stress and drama of fighting with each other. We can fight other opponents and we can play our games inside the game, Foundry and Frostfire and Canyon Clash and Arena and all these things. We can have fun inside the game without worrying about intrastate drama, and we can worry about fighting with other states during SvS. Tell me your tips and tricks for doing that, and anything that you feel, if you've been through a transformation like this before, if you've been through the drama before and came out of the other end with a success story, and you think what was the cause of that, please tell me in the comments, because I really want to hear it so that I can figure out what else we can do, what we can bring to this state to make it great. That's what I'm trying to look to do. So before I'm done, let's just take a look at the VIP again. Let's grab these claims and take a look. I didn't do a lot of spending tonight, so I didn't move the needle on this much. It still just shows 1 million, but we'll have a bunch of spins to do. And I haven't decided. I'm probably going to do it on either a slow day, or maybe I'll think about doing it on a live. There's the pros and cons to each. It just depends what else is going on as I see what the event schedule looks like that's coming up. So that's all I have for tonight, but thank you very much for joining me. And if you want to continue to see how this journey goes, you got to help me out by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications. That way, whenever I post anything, you'll be the first to know about it. Thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, I'll see you later.